Right, this is day 2 because I got a bit carried away with something else yesterday. Anyway, so the differential now is all nicely cleaned. It went into the parts washer first, then it went into the hot diesel ultrasonic with a recirculating pump to flush it out well, and then it went back in the parts washer and we sprayed it with brake cleaner to get rid of all the diesel, and it's nice now. So what we're going to do first, we're going to double check if these two parts here are corresponding, because it should be written with a number. So get your magnifying glass out and it'll be written right on the crown, and it'll say somewhere I think it's either a 781 or a 381. It won't be a stamped number, it'll be a number put on with a pen. Here, is it here? No. There you go. 781. So we know those two are matching. Don't put mix and match gears on. It's not good. As I say, I think this is a Detroit locker, automatic locker. It is not the same as a standard Rover differential, so we're not going to touch that. So we flattened off this surface yesterday, same here. So now we're going to fit the crown wheel. Now it won't fit exactly, so what we're going to do, we're just going to put a couple of bolts through to line up, because it has to be drawn onto that shoulder. I don't suppose you can see that from my head. One either side. They are a bit tricky. There you go. And now we can put some Loctite on those bolts and progressively pull them up. Now I'm going to go and double check what the torque is on those. Right, so the torque for the bolts, we've got Loctite on them all. We've just nipped them down with a little impact. 9.1 to 10.4 kilograms force, or 66 to 75 newton meters. Now I'm not sure if this is going to work because I'm not sure how much torque I can get. Yeah, you see, I thought that would happen. I might have to go this way, because they are kind of tricky to hold. Now, where was my number 1? So once we're all torqued down, now we're going to fit our dummy bearings. They are a bit of a close fit. Well, there you go, just a little tiny bit of a high spot, and now they both move freely. The idea is we want this diff to move backwards and forwards, because the next thing we're going to do is put it in this casing, and we're going to calculate the run out, just as a rough run out without the bearings being in, but we're also going to calculate the end float of this. Now I know it's a bit of a cop out and I don't want to do it twice, but I've already calculated the height of the pinion on a previous video I did last year, so I don't really want to do it again. I don't want to disturb the bearings, but it's all in the book how you do it. You just measure off the bottom side. Say for example, this is your bearing cap, this is your bearing inside the casing. You measure off here, this bit, and then you work out if it's higher or lower according to the number written on here. Now if there's no numbers written on it, Well, this has got a 4 on it, so I think that means it's +4. It's oversized. I could be wrong. I've not done one of these for a long time and I haven't got my book here, but that's already been done. So we're going to drop this in and we find out what the end float is, and then we have to add 5/1000 of an inch for the backlash, you know, to tighten it up in the casing. So we'll need our axle differential spreader when I can get it spluttered out. Let me get this in. Right, now we need a big bar. We're going to push the differential to one side. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Don't tighten the caps up yet. So push it to one side and you'll find the bearing will, that dummy bearing will hit the edge of the casing. If it doesn't, well, you'll all be out. Nip that one off. Do the same at the other side. Somehow. There. Now you should have a free running differential, but now it'll move. Get it? So let me set up, and what we're going to do is push this all to one side, and we're going to measure the float. What's the difference between there, and then add 5/1000 of an inch. Now we're going to do it in thousandths of an inch on this one, because all the shims are in thousandths of an inch instead of this fractions of a millimetre. Boy, I'm not having much luck today. The battery's gone flat in my digital gauge. So I'm going to have to disappear and get one. I could do it in analog one, but I'll use the digital one because I've already got set up a little thing on there for doing the backlash for the teeth. So, bit of a bummer really, isn't it? Now it's afternoon. I went downtown to get some batteries and got sidetracked, went to see JP, so I'm going to start this again. So, we've got the differential in, and we can move it from side to side quite easily on the dummy bearings. Now we've got our gauge set up here. Let's zoom in a bit. Can we get it a bit higher? There. Right, so I've got it on the head of a bolt because there's too many little bits and pieces around here to drop off. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to slide it this way. Alright, we're going to slide it that way, and we're on 0. There. This is really tricky to reset, but it's on 0.5 of a thousandth of an inch, and we're not bothered about that. So now we're going to push it the other way. We've got 92. We're going to push it back. 0, 94. 0, 94. So we're going to call that 94. So we'll write that down on our bench here. So we've got 0.094 plus 5 gives us 99,099. That is our shim pack that we have to make. Now this is where it gets important. We've determined how many shims that we need. All right, that's how many. But now we need to find where they go in the right order. Because what we do now, because if you've noticed here, we haven't got the pinion in. Why didn't we put the pinion in first of all? Because when we're sliding it about the diff, the teeth will engage and we won't get a full reading. Are you with me? We won't get that full reading. It's really important because what we want now is a full uninterrupted sweep to determine the size of the shim pack. Now we fit the pinion, we put it close to the teeth on here. We determine we need 5 thou backlash, so we have 10 thou backlash, so we bang the gear up against there, and then we can work out how many shims goes in this end and how many shims goes in that end. This is why I like this dummy bearing idea, because we can move it around and we can play around with it. It's nice and free, but it's exactly the same size as your original bearing, so we're very, very, very close. So I'm going to take this off now. I must remember to leave that running so the battery goes flat again. And then we're going to fit the pinion. But we're not going to fit the pinion with the crush sleeve yet. Why? Well, we can fit the crush sleeve later, but if we have to take it out again and mess about, if the tooth passing isn't right, then we're not wasting the crush sleeve. You know what I mean? Oh, you'll get it. Hey, talking about that, where's the bloody flange for this? I think I ordered it. I asked them for a flange because I think the flange was buggered. Oh, I don't know where that is now. So there's our shim pack. It's 99.5 thou. That's pretty damn close. So that's good. We've got our shim pack, and they're all made out of little assorted ones. It's not just like 150 and file it down a bit, you know, for each side. Because what we've got to do is once we establish where the diff is, we have to take one shim out of one side and put it into the other. Except we can't. I can't find the flange. I think it was damaged and I asked for a spare one. And I don't know where the hell it is. Darn. This is the problem when jobs drag on for months and months, because I've been in and out here with the different axles, but I've looked high and low for the damn thing. I don't know where it is. I'll put it safe if I had it, or it might be down at JP's, I'm not sure. But I'm sure it was damaged. Yeah, so that's throwing the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit. What have we got for a seal? I don't know if there's a seal here or not. Just let me check. Well, we've got the old leather seal here, which I'm not too fond of, because the quality of them wasn't very good. Well, that's it. Thwarted again. Oh, I hate it when it's like this, because we just can't just sort of pop out and buy one and get one next day. So this is going to be tying me up on my bench. Well, I think what I'll do is I'm going to spray this with Crown Rust Proofing and leave it as it is. Like I said, I've got